Welcome to Navigating the Truth. It is August 27th. I'm a little late putting this one up, and my guest is Patricia Hill. Patricia is a returning guest, and sit back and enjoy the show.
We interrupt to bring you this.
We've hijacked your daily dose of regurgitated news to bring you Navigating the Truth. Brace yourself, listeners, as you're about to enter a world where the narrative is no longer masqueraded as the truth. A world where the conspiracies of yesterday's translate into the truths of today.
Are you listening?
The veils covering the truth are lifting, and understandings once suppressed are finally being revealed. Will you be ready? And now, your host and navigator through these circles of lies, the host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hi, welcome to Navigating the Truth. It is August 27th and it is Sunday, and it has been a pleasant day here in Scotland. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday wherever you are. And I'd like to thank the listeners who have chosen to listen in to Navigating the Truth this morning or evening or afternoon, wherever you are. And also, I would like to let you know that I have a website that is souliam.org or .net. Either one, you will find it. I also have a YouTube channel. I think I'm not really sure. It's either 25 or 28 subscribers. Yee-hoo! So we're inching up one subscriber at a time. And I'd like to thank the subscribers. And the YouTube channel is Caroline Bell Tumblety. And what I do is I will load up the Sunday's episode. I usually load up about 30 or 40 minutes and a link to KCOR so you can hear the whole show. And also have Facebook, Caroline Bell Tumblety. Don't really like it, as I say every single week, but I do check in on it a couple of times a week. What else? There is a donate button on KCOR radio.com website. If you like what you're hearing, there are many, many great shows here, wonderful hosts, awesome guests. Hit the donate button or join the Dark Vault. And I have a lovely guest with me today. I have Patricia Hill, who was with me a month ago. Yeah, and I'm going to read off Patricia Hill's bio here. Patricia is a certified spiritual coach. Patricia Hill's writing is characterized by the same enthusiasm, wisdom, and humor she brings to her work as an intuitive life coach, an energy healer. With her low-key, informal style and impressive success at facilitating life-changing insights and energy shifts for her clients, it's no wonder that Patricia's workshops, classes, and private coaching sessions are booked months in advance. A Florida native, Patricia began her spiritual journey early, really early, at the age of 5. With no adult supervision, she left her Jacksonville home, marched into a local church, and enrolled in Sunday school. Seeking information about the divine, more she intuitively knew was at work in the universe. That early passion still drives Patricia's work. Her intense desire to serve and heal has transformed her own life and been instrumental in her mission of assisting clients and students from all walks of life to connect with their intuition and manifest their deepest desires. Featured in Natural Awakening magazine and a regular guest host on Awakened Radio, Patricia's greatest joy is helping others step into their spiritual brilliance. She is also a Reiki practitioner, a licensed massage therapist, and is certified in transformational breathwork. And I'd like to welcome Patricia to Navigating the Truth again. Hi, Patricia. Hi. Welcome and thank you. Thank you for being my guest. It is an honor.
It's my pleasure to be here.
So it has been a month since we talked, and life has been as ridiculous as ever, and and as traumatizing for the masses.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. So how has it been for you the past month?
Well, it's I think the more in harmony you are with yourself, the more peace you cultivate. So when you can cultivate peace for yourself during these turbulent times, you uplift others. Because if we get too drenched or in this chaos, then we don't help anyone because we're actually feeding the fear, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that we don't participate in supporting people, whether you have loved ones in these places, or you need to donate, or you need to, whatever it is you feel guided to do is very important. But internalizing and feeding the fear and the chaos doesn't help anyone. So the more you can live in a peaceful, centered place, as you have these experiences with the world, you uplift others. So, that's one thing I always have to remind myself.
Well, yeah. I mean, when something tragic happens, we do look for the pillars in the community. Like we look for the ones that are stoic. They get on with it. They have a kind word. They know what needs to be done. Like my mind immediately goes to like 9/11. I was living in upstate New York at the time, and I saw people come together there like I had never seen before. I had never seen that,
Yeah, I agree. That's that physical aspect, right, of these experiences, is to take some type of action. If that's something you're a part of, it's right in front of you, or you just feel guided to go there and support those people.
Yeah. Well, as like I get what you're saying. Like it's important for us not to feed the fear,
Right.
and because the fear is going to take us into a place where we're really not any good to ourselves or anybody, because it has
well, we have to remember that the fear actually feeds the people that we are beginning to understand that are behind all this stuff, right?
Exactly.
We're actually helping these people, the people that we go, I can't believe that they would do this, or that they would allow this to happen. So they need our fear and confusion. That's how they feed on us, right?
Yeah, that's totally right. And it has taken a long while for us to get to the point where, like, I think for myself anyway, I can't speak for anybody else. I've always known that things were wacky in the world.
Yeah.
It's glaring and in your face, and they're not hiding it anymore. They're
that's true.
They're not for the people.
Well, everybody's beginning to wake. That's what people are understanding, that you got to take your power back. You need to think for yourself. But if a person's wondering, how can I support the light? How can I improve these situations, is to keep an open heart, to continue to expand your heart and your light, to stay in your integrity, right? And so there's steps to those, there's steps to keeping your heart open. There are things that you can do as an individual to expand your own light. And the more we all do that, the more it will transmute and take over the darkness. The darkness will not be sustained if each individual continues to open their heart, right? And so that's a very important awareness, because it sounds simple, but it's really not that simple, because an open heart requires an understanding of who you are. It requires self-acceptance, self-trust. It requires you to create love-based boundaries, right? There's a lot of cultivation to keeping your heart open, because you've got to allow yourself to experience your own shadow in order for more light to come in, right? So there's a lot to it. It's not just, it's an everyday occurrence, a practice.
Well, Happiness is not a given, right? It's something that you have to want every day. You know, it's
Right,
not.
right, right.
It's a state. It's not a really an emotion or a
Yeah,
like
I think.
happy. Yeah,
Yeah,
make a choice.
I
Be
think.
happy.
Yeah, I think about attitude, because people talk about vibration and resonance and alignment.
Mm-hmm.
So if you choose to have a good attitude despite what's going on in your life, then that's what you're doing. You're in alignment with a better timeline, even though something may happen that it may be uncomfortable. It may not be a real big deal. It might be a real big deal, you see.
Mm-hmm.
But your attitude gives you a better solution if you don't go right into why this has always happened to me, or blah, 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 right? You go,
Right.
okay, well, what can I do about it? And you ask for that solution. You get into a place of relaxation where you can hear the guidance versus start projecting outside of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
So it's really about self-awareness really helps a lot, especially if you understand what your patterns are and your
Oh yeah.
triggers, because then
Mm-hmm.
you know what cycle you are in, and that helps you to pause and take a step back, right?
So when you talk about cycles, like what cycle are you in? What are you referring to? Like, are
Well,
you?
we're energetically, we're always in the cycle of our ancestral pattern, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can go through really smooth times, and then you'll go through some bumpy times, but it's usually a pattern that you have that you still need to shift your perspective
Mm-hmm.
around. Does that make sense? Is
Yeah.
there's some education there for you as a shift of perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you understand that you're in a pattern of your own choosing, because you've imprinted through perspective, but you've also chosen it before you ever came here, you got to think about that. Your personal trigger is your opportunity to transmute it once you know what the trigger is, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I was just writing about that the other day. So if your trigger is desperation, then you got to learn to not only be generous, but practice the balance, right? You can't just give everything away,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't get money and then spend it all, because that just takes you right back to the desperation, right? So you've got to
Right.
understand what your ancestral trigger is, and
Mm-hmm.
then you want to work with that awareness and transmute it through doing the high, choosing from a higher perspective, right? Does
Mm-hmm.
that sort of make sense?
It does make sense. The thing that I always kind of, to me, it's like a road bump, and it's this whole idea that we choose to come here, and we choose these life events, or we choose these families, and we make these contracts. Have you ever seen your contract, Patricia? Oh, you're muted. I can't hear you.
Turn it back. There we go.
There we
Well,
go.
if you know what your triggers are and your learned imprint, which your personal trigger is like a word that
Hmm.
vibrates out, because that's the best way for you to understand it. It's like, let's say your trigger is desperation and your learned imprint is guilt, then you know that you have to continue to forgive yourself, to
Hmm.
forgive your experiences, and to create self-responsibility, right? Because a desperate person doesn't believe they can take care of themselves. Think of it that way.
Okay.
So if you have your trigger's desperation, then self-sufficiency and self-responsibility is your foundation, right? So you're not looking for people. You don't want to come from a place of being a victim. You got to come from a place of being empowered and
Hmm.
finding something you love and willing to do whatever it takes to keep yourself stable. So you may have to have what a lot of people will talk about, get out of the matrix. don't
Hmm.
don't have a 9 to 5. To me, some of that's garbage,
Hmm.
because if you need to pay your bills and you have children,
Oh,
even though
sure.
you
Yep.
may have a
Hmm.
dream, you don't quit your job because it's in the matrix, that structure will help you to build the foundation of stability. Then you can step out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh
know,
no, I understand that. Yep,
yeah,
yep,
but a lot of people get confused. They listen to all this different information out there, and all they hear is get out of the matrix, get out of the matrix. Well, yes, that's true. Get out. Go find your passion. But if you're not there yet, you need to take care of yourself first. You got to make sure you're stable and then step out, because I've seen a lot of spiritual people. They get into that victim place. Then they think because they're spiritual, people are supposed to pay their bills. You see how that works? Because they can't, because they refuse to do anything in the matrix. Well, you can't expect the people in the matrix to pay your bills because you can't. What does that make any sense? Because that's what I've seen. You see, then they ask all the people that they're saying, don't be in the matrix. Well, the people in the matrix are paying your bills because you can't. So do you see how backwards that is?
I do see how backwards that is. And maybe what it is what is the matrix, Like what
I think that's another level of, we're all in the matrix, okay? We're all in this,
we are
multi-dimensional universe, and there is a structure. And if you're living on Earth, you are in some aspect of the matrix. You may just dip in and out every day because you're in a higher dimension, because you've done that kind of work, but you still got to go talk to people that are still in the matrix, and maybe they don't believe anything you believe, or maybe you just give them a seed of thought because they ask you a question, right? You've just got to allow yourself to dance in the matrix and light up the people that are ready, right? You're just kind of like a little firefly. You've heard of those little bugs that light up. That's what you really are. That's what spirit showed me. And you're just like in a bush. You can light the whole bush up, right? Every leaf on that bush is lit up by you. But you don't go in there thinking, I'm spiritual. I know more than you do. So because then you're just practicing separation.
Yeah.
Does that it's that spiritual ego that starts all the newbies that are coming out. We all went through the phases. I mean, I've done this so long. I've been through most of the phases. I'm not saying I've got it all right, but you go through that spiritual ego phase where you're like, well, I know more than that person. Look what I'm doing. It's like, you know what, just get over yourself and actually do something worthwhile. Okay. And so it's interesting how there's so much misinformation out there that people get confused because they have kind of had a wake-up call. They're trying to figure it out because they're suffering, right? But it doesn't mean we don't want to give them the wrong info, right?
Exactly.
You still got to go to work if you have children, okay? If you're single, fine. You just quit your job, go live out of your car, whatever you want to do, that's fine. But if you have kids, you need to be responsible for those children's well-being, okay? So quitting your job because you have some bright idea that doesn't make any sense. So when people tell people to quit their job, right?
Oh yeah.
And I've seen that. I've seen that.
Yeah, me too.
They kind of what I'm getting at, because I think it really bothers me, is the shaming of it.
Oh yeah.
I have clients that are in the matrix and they pay me to coach them. Why does then that's a double-edged sword, right? Oh, I don't believe in the matrix. I don't believe in people working 9 to 5. Well, then don't take their money, okay?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's my point,
Yeah, it is a double-edged sword, and you're absolutely right. Like, well, we are in an environment where making a living is important. You can't have you can't have a mortgage, you can't pay rent, you can't eat. You can basically not do anything without having money. So, and you have to have a job, and a lot of people, it's a career. Or some people they have the attitude of, I work so I can live, and not I what is it that there's a saying, I work so I can live, I don't work
Yeah,
to
live
live.
to work or
Yeah,
work to
live to
live,
work.
right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
you want to live, you really want to choose life every day. But
Yeah.
we've got to, and like, a lot of people talking about having communities, buying land.
Mhm.
And I think that's a great idea, but that doesn't mean nobody has a job. We could all have jobs and promote different aspects of that community, but we've got to either have little shops where everybody makes money or some kind of, token exchange where
Well,
everybody,
yeah.
gets what they
Yeah.
need, but there's still a structure. You still
Mhm.
have to go through the steps,
Oh,
you know.
absolutely. And
It's
also,
not a magic wand,
no,
where you just
no.
go, boom, I can have that today, and boom, we're not Merlin. I mean, we'd like to be Merlin, but we are not
Well,
Merlin,
maybe
not yet. I'm
not
not
yet.
saying that won't
Yeah.
happen in 20 years from now or 100 years from now, but right now we have to physically take action to get
Mhm.
something, right?
Well, I like the idea of the communities. I do like that idea. The thing about a community, like in my mind anyway, is it requires like maintenance like everything else. It will require upkeep. It will require like
Yeah.
builders, like
Yeah,
everything,
it's
growers,
it's going to require structure,
Mm-hmm.
commitment, and agreements to certain behaviors. See, we don't just have a community and everybody's high and nobody wants to do anything. That
Mm-hmm.
is not. We still have to have structure. You still have to have
Absolutely.
rules and regulations. People
Mm-hmm.
can't just do whatever they feel like doing, right?
No,
You've got to participate. You got
yeah.
to think about the well-being of yourself and others. It's the
Oh,
same
yeah.
structure, but just in
Mm-hmm.
a different frequency of, more of a harmonious type of community versus
And
chaos and
also,
drama.
yeah, and I feel like the community might even help people feel like, well, it wouldn't help. It would actually make you feel you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for everybody here. You're doing it for the community.
And I think it would really clear up some of this isolation that a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
that are on this journey and work really hard at what they're doing and really love what
Yeah.
they do. There's a
Yeah.
lot of isolation because we don't always fit in these little social groups, right? We don't have anything to talk about that they want to hear, right? That's my point.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk,
Yeah.
but they don't want to hear it. So
Right.
having a community where people have similar interests, then we kind of we feel more like we're supporting the conscious whole through
Oh,
our
yeah. Yeah.
our own intention, right?
Yeah. I think the wrong thing just popped into my head. Hunger Games.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
They're different communities.
yeah, exactly. Well, we are.
We don't really want to go that way.
Yeah, we all have our personal universe, right?
Yeah.
So that's how we create whatever. So yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And I think we are, can you believe it? We're coming up on our first break. So we will be back in 3 minutes, listeners. Grab your tea, your coffee, your beverage, and we will be back.
You're listening to Navigating the Truth with Caroline Bell Tumblety, where the truth survives and the lies are exposed.
I just want to assure you that everything is under control. There's been no damage except for some temporary malfunction of the radio.
Come be a part of this awakening by joining us in chat or by calling our hotline at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230. Worldwide callers, find us on Skype at KCOR Radio.
We're pushing the ultimate frontier here.
Control must be maintained.
More disinformation exposed and the truth discovered. After a word from our sponsors.
1 million miles till midnight. A story of timelines, artificial worlds, simulated races, and the galactic imprint. And the destiny of a blue world called Earth. 1 million miles till midnight, written by Solaris Blue Raven, is a journey through the mind's eye which allows the reader to surf a wave of technological and multidimensional intellect, revealing a bridge between conscious design and the truth. A multidimensional bleed-through awakens the world of artificial intelligence to set sail into the frontiers of a vast multiverse, morphing planets and terraforming ascended worlds beyond the linear programs of a fated race. 1 million miles till midnight will awaken, inspire, prepare, and enlighten one to the many multidimensional states of consciousness and worlds we reside in. With every cell and atom, we are this truth and multiverse. 1 million miles till midnight. Written by Solaris Blue Raven. Available now at Amazon.com. Don't wait. Get your copy today.
1, 2, 3, 4.
To the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
I love the way it sounds.
Love the music. I listen all day.
The future of radio is here and now.
Alien Deceptions, a suspenseful sci-fi romance thriller by Tina Marie, featuring the tantalizing Erica Jones and the mysterious Russell Hamilton. An out-of-this-world book of fiction based on years of document facts and files the government does not want you to know about, at least not yet. Alien Deceptions by Tina Marie. Available now at Amazon.com or get a signed copy at TinaMarieEntertainment.com. Get your copy now.
Change your frequency, change your life with the Lemurian Plug. The Lemurian Plug is easy to control, simple to set up, and wireless. It helps to neutralize toxins and has restorative frequencies for healing. It also helps to protect you and your family from EMFs. The Lemurian Plug is energy efficient and designed using ancient technology for a superior design. One unit can cover up to 1,000 square feet. This life-changing product is reasonably priced. And isn't your family's health worth a small investment? For more information on the miraculous effects of this plug or to purchase the Lemurian Plug, visit thelemurianplug.com. That's thelemurianplug.com. The Lemurian Plug is like nothing you've ever experienced. Order yours today.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas' #1 source for talk and new music.
How cool is that?
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Navigating the Truth, the one show that peels back the masks of the elite and exposes the truth we're not being told.
Here to warn you. You must not abuse the power you've been given. Eventually, you will lose control of that power and the whole world will suffer.
Come partake in the awakening by calling the show at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230.
Give us a call now.
Those around the world, connect with us on Skype at KCOR Radio. Follow us on Twitter at KCOR Radio or use hashtag KCOR. Come engage in the discussion live in our chat room at www.kcorradio.com.
Our survival depends upon it.
Now, back to examining the narratives and uncovering the truth with your host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety. Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hi, welcome back to Navigating the Truth. My name is Caroline Bell Tumblety and I am your host. I'd like to thank the listeners who have chosen to listen in today, and I have a lovely guest. I have a returning guest. I have Patricia Hill with me, and welcome back, Patricia.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, we were chatting up a storm there.
Yeah, we were. So where would you like to what would you like to pinpoint, Caroline?
Go for it. You know, like,
yeah,
there was so much. Yeah, there was like, well, when we were talking during the break.
Go ahead.
So no, you go. Go.
Well, I know we had started with community, so you can add to that. I just thought I'd give you a keyword.
Oh, thank you.
You know how that goes. Sometimes you're like, okay, where did I blank
and that opens up a whole thing for me. Yeah, my folder can open up, my little file. So community. Right, like in the 60s, there was a lot of like what was it they called them? Yeah, it was
You mean the
cults.
cults? Yeah, you're talking about cults. We don't want to do that again. No.
But there was like these homesteaders, like there were people who kind of got together and kind of built in fact, I remember watching a documentary about homes being built out of recycling, tires and cans and
I think
bottles.
that's a great idea.
People, yeah.
No, that's brilliant, because there's people that do that, and that's a beautiful way to build something. There's a lot of ways to do it.
Yeah. Well, I think building in such a way that you fit into the environment, like nature, instead of nature having to accommodate you, like by
that's a great.
That's another thing. Like here, every time they get ready to kind of build or excavate, you're talking about thousands of birds and hundreds of foxes. We have badger.
Deers.
They become displaced, and nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
We're on the coast where we don't have a lot of wild land left. In fact, I don't think there is any wild land left in Scotland. At some point or another, there has been people living on it. And I was just thinking about that, like they're pushing this green agenda, this
it doesn't make any sense, does it? And then if you're pushing out the animals, then that's not a green agenda. Okay?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Like they had this big incentive to plant trees here. They were donated. There was somebody donated like 1 million trees, and the local municipal didn't know what to do with them, so they refused them. And everybody got wind of it, and next thing you know, trees are getting planted everywhere. The only thing is, nobody's caring for them.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So we have all these trees planted, but no care. There's nobody has been assigned the job like to tend for the trees. But maybe that,
But see, that's all that's what we talk about, self-sufficiency. It's self-responsibility. And that's the foundation we all need to focus on. Like, where are you lacking in self-responsibility, right? Where are you not supporting, not yourself first, because you've got to take care of yourself. It's not anybody else's job. And then you got to look in your environment and say, where can I be a little more useful, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or productive, if you want that word. Is that a better word for some people?
Like useful. I like to be useful. I also like to be productive. I think these are good words. Yeah. But I think I'm just going to be stay positive. The local municipal, all they have to do is ask for volunteers.
Yeah, exactly.
And these trees will be tended. Like, I can't walk by one of them. If I see things growing around them, I have to clear it out.
Well, good.
And I know there's other people like that. Yeah, there's other people like that in the communities and in the neighboring communities. It's like that, especially these kind of rural areas. Like, we want to be involved, and we also want I'm very aware that there is nothing for the really young, and there's nothing for the older. Like it's like all these things seem to have disappeared out of our communities. Like there used to be places where the young ones could go, and play computer games or watch movies or table tennis. They're all gone. All these things are gone.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Mm-mm.
I think part of that agenda, as people call it, is they want us to isolate and be addicted to technology, because that weakens us, right? And so anytime they throw in a new theme, that confusion that we focus on, right, is what they want. So whatever the theme is, doesn't matter. It confuses us for a while because we're trying to either fix it, change it, or figure out where it came from. Then they can feed off of that energy, because that is not clarity, which clarity is alignment, right? That's being centered and grounded and just staying in your heart so you can do your daily life. I mean, you're not just meditating all day, but you've got to know that you've got to stay grounded and be.
Thank you for listening to Navigating the Truth with my guest, Patricia Hill. If you would like to hear the interview in its entirety, please go to kcrradio.com, and I'll see you next week.